Hello everyone, I'm Boriana from Bulgaria. I'm Excel MVP and me and my company iTraining are organizer of Bulgaria Excel Days. Our main focus is in training and consulting in field of the Microsoft technology, mainly in Microsoft Excel, Power BI, VBA, Microsoft project. Thanks a lot of Cristiano to invite me to be part of Excel Weekend 9. So we can start. The topic is disconnected tables. So here you will see how we can use this kind of disconnected tables. It's related especially to Power BI for desktop. It's not available in Power BI for Excel, for example. So the agenda is first I will show you how to import a couple of training data in Power BI for desktop. Then we will go and create some interesting measure, of course, and after then you will see how to create some smart range slicer, so to calculate some different percentage, for example, or something like this. Then we will see how to create field parameters, and in the end, but not least, we will see how to use banding table instead of nested ifs. So that was my presentation. So let's go and see the demo. Here we have Power BI for desktop. Okay, this is the Power BI for desktop, and now I will import a couple of data that I need to present. So let's go to Home tab. There is a Get Data. If you are familiar with Power BI for desktop, under the More tab, we can open the window with all kind of data that we can import. So in our situation, it's basic access database that I need to connect. And inside of this database, you will see there is a couple of products. It's a sports stocks. So just a second to import all this kind of data. So here we have a couple of tables that present our stores. Or for example, we have a employee table, geography table, of course, product, reseller, and sales. And imagine that we need only the product and sales data. So the product actually contains list of our products, their product ID, their product name, subcategory, category, etc. And inside of the sales table, actually this is our facts table that present the order number, line, date, employee ID, product ID, etc. again. So let's go and select this both table and let's try to transform this data. Under the transform window, you will see that we will open the Power Query Editor. And actually in this window, I just need to select a couple of data. So first, under the product tab, I need only the first 5 columns, this one, and I don't need the other one, so I can go and remove other columns. And then let's go and see what is inside of sales table. So here we have order ID, the line number inside of order, etc., etc. And actually we have a quantity, unit cost, and unit price inside of this table. So once import this data. I don't need the last 3 columns from the fact table. So imagine that we need to calculate some profit, for example, and once we need to calculate some profit, so I need to add a new column because I need to calculate what's the difference between unit price and unit cost, and after then I need to multiply by this quantity. So there is a couple of ways to create this one. I can do this in Power Query Editor, or I can do directly in the table view in Power BI for desktop. But now I decide just to use Power BI, Power Query Editor, and after the add column, you can see we have a bottom that is called custom column, and this will open the small window that allow me to create some basic formula. And under the new column name, I will type this profit. And here is my basic mathematician formula. Actually, I need to create a formula that is called unit cost minus unit price minus unit cost, and then multiply by quantity. It's something like basic mathematician. So let's go, press OK, and you can see we have a new column that is calculate profit. So this is enough that I need. So let's go close the Power Query Editor, and after then we will see what will happen with our data. So we need to wait a couple of seconds just to load all this data to the data model. And because we import this data from Microsoft Access inside of this database, the both table product and sales are already connected between each other. So let me go and show you this in the model view. Once I press model view, here you can see that our tables, product and sales are already connected. Nice. And under the table view, I will show you the sales table, and inside of sales you can see here we have a profit, but the problem in the profit is that this data type is present like text. Let's try to change this to decimal number, and trying to convert this to decimal number. Now it's working and it's worked perfect. So let's go and change this to some currency. Okay. Then let's go and create inside of the sales table. We need to create a measure that sum all this profit, and I will do this with right click, select new measure, and under the measure window I will type the new measure to be total profit, and this will be super basic, simple, like sum of this sales profit. Try it. Close this, press enter. Let me show you in zoom mode. Nice, it's okay. So this is super basic. Measure total profit. Yes, there is mistake. Total profit will be equal to sum of sales profit. So let's go, press enter. And we have a total profit. So let's see how this look like. For example, I need to see the category that is stored under the product table. So for example, and once I create a checkbox under the category, and I want to see the total profit of these different kind of categories. So the total profit here, it's something like this. So let's go here and change a little bit size. So imagine now, okay, this is our total profit. So imagine now that this profit is stored for some kind of period, and we need to create some something like this kind of measure that show me let's see if I increase the total profit with 5%, what will happen, or let's see if I increase the total profit with 10%, what will happen. So it's a little bit complicated to create a lots of measure to see what will happen with the different kinds of percentage once we want to change. So for example, let's go and I need to create a new measure. And let's see what will happen with total profit. I will call this 5%, something like this. And this will be equal to total profit, 5%, and this will be equal to our total profit that we already stored, our total profit, plus the same one, it's a basic mathematician formula. Total profit multiplied by 5%. Or you can do this, actually it's multiplied by 0.0. Or you can do this just to multiply one's total profit multiplied by 105%. It depends of your calculation and your how you prefer to create an increase with 5%. So our sales table. But for example, actually I will delete this in a couple of seconds just to show you. So for example, here we have total profit, and after then we have the new measure that creates the 5% of total profit. And again, once we need to calculate, for example, 10 or 11 or whatever we need, we need to create the new measure. And instead of this, I will show you a super cool trick that is available in Power BI for desktop, but unfortunately it's not available in Microsoft Excel. And here is the moment that we need to create this slicer. Under the modeling tab, there is a new parameter options. And under the new parameter, there is a two kind of options, numeric range and fields. So let's go and select the numeric range. So under the numeric range here, you can see this is the name of parameter. I will call this my profit increase. And this will be the whole number, for example, and imagine that we need to calculate this from 0 to 12. That means from 0% to 12%. And this is the step that we need to increase. It's up to 1. So let's go and create this. And once we create this, you will see what exactly will happen. Actually, we create the new table. So here in the data tab, you can see actually we create a brand new table. And under the brand new table, we have two options here. One of this is our column that is stored. You will see in a couple of seconds, and the second one is the measure. So what is inside of this table? Let's go and switch to table view, and let's go and select our my profit increase table. Actually, once we create this new parameter, uh, Power BI for desktop generate just one column from 0 to 12, and you can see it's used the DAX formula that is called generate series. For example, it starts from 0 like here, and in 20, and this is the step. So this is once that it's happened, we generate a column by using generate series. And the second one is a new measure that was created, and this new measure is called selected value from this kind of column that we just generate. So, so once we create a table, and the second one we create column with a random number from minimum to maximum, and the third one is create a new measure that is use function selected value. And the next one in the report view, actually we create a slicer here, and this slicer still not connected to our total profit. So for example, there is a slice here, and you can see that we change the number once we drag and drop this slicer. Let's go and change a little bit this. Okay, so it's happened something, but still nothing is connected to our table. So we need to create a new measure that is equal to our selected percent. So I will do this inside in sales table. So let's go and create new measure. And I will call this increase my profit. And this will be equal to total profit again. And then I need to add total profit again, the same formula, but now I need to multiply by this my profit to this measure, and I will call this my profit increase, and that is created, and it's already connected to the selected value. So this one should be delete to 100. And now let's go and see what's happened. So for example, here, once I change this to 2%, this one is equal to and connected, and you can see how it's look like this. Okay. Okay, that's great, but why I call this topic disconnected table? Actually, once we create this new kind of parameter that we called my profit increase, actually this creates a table, but we can see that this table inside of the model view or our data model, it's not related to any other from any other table inside of the model. So that's why I call this disconnected table. This was my first example, and the next one, let's go and see how we can create a basic report with two different measures, and inside of these two different measures we can change the calculation by using again Slicer. So here inside of page 2 I will show some core product, and then I need to see our total profit using this kind of core site of products. So let's go and see. Let's change a little bit value, more proper, and maybe I need to change these visuals in the clustered column to look like a little bit better. Something like this. So actually we show some kind of chart that present how the different products, the different color of products are sales and what was the total profit. And you can see, for example, that the yellow one, for me it's super strange, that is under the zero according to the profit. But imagine that okay, this is our profit, but sometimes I just want to see what's the total quantity, for example, for the different product. So to find the to find the quantity, I need to create a new measure, for example, and I will call this new measure total quantity. Total quantity. And inside of total quantity, I will create a basic sum, and this will sum our quantity from the sales table. Okay, close the bracket, press enter, and let's zoom out a little bit. So in this kind of chart, I present the total profit, but imagine that your boss come and say, okay, change please this total profit to see the total quantity. We need to show to our boss how to uncheck, for example, total profit here, and after then go find our total quantity, put this total quantity and see what's the difference, for example. But it's not so good to presenter, because sometimes we need just to press some button, for example, or to change some options inside of Slicer. And if you are familiar in Power BI for desktop, you will see that we can publish this report, and after then we can export this published report inside of PowerPoint, for example, and then just use to present our data. So in this case, I will show you how to create the slicer, and this slicer will change the different measure. So actually this is using again disconnected table. So let's go under the modeling again, and inside of modeling you see again the same new parameter, and there is a field options, and inside the field options here I will call this my measure, and inside of my measure I want to expand the sales table, and here I need to select total profit and total quantity. This will be the both both measure that we will create. So wait a couple of seconds, and bam, again we have a measure and we have a slicer, and here we can check this kind of slicer to change the measure that we need to present. But actually what happened again? So this will create the new measure. And this new measure has only one column. So let's go and see how it's look like under the table view. Here we have a my measure, and inside of this measure we have just name. My measure is the name, and under the my measure we have a field actually that is created, and also we create the different column that it's just ranking for example. So okay, so according to the previous example, we need to use some kind of measure that present the total quantity and to switch between total quantity and total profit. But first we don't have this kind of measure, so I need to create this kind of measure. And the second one, absolutely the same like previous example, we need a measure like this one that show what kind of value we are selected. So first I need to create one measure that return the result of selected measure. So selected value, is this the total profit or this is the total quantity? So let's go first and create first measure, and I will call this measure, okay, I will call this selected data, and this will use the function selected value. And what kind of value? This will be in my measure table, and this will be my measure order. So let me show you what I mean. So the result from here is I'm looking for this kind of number. What kind of number is selected? And once we select 0 or 1, this will return the, once we select the total profit, for example, this will return the 0 number. If we select the total quantity, this will return the number 1. And after that, I need to refer to my field, to the real measure that we create. So let's go back here, and actually you can see we have a selected data measure, and inside of cells, let's go and create the new measure. And now I will use the switch function. So I will call this my total measure, and this will be equal to switch. So now I need to use this kind of measure that I created, selected data, and after the selected data, I'm looking for, if I select the 0, then go and show out total profit. If I select 1, then go and select the total quantity. That's all. So this is the switch function. The selected data will show the result 0 or 1, and depends of this what kind of data it's returned. We say, okay, if I select 0, then show the total profit. If I select 1, then go and show the total quantity. So let's go, and at the end, our chart, we need to present this new measure that say my total profit. So let's go and see, this is my total quantity, and I can change to total profit and total quantity. It's super cool, I think. Okay, so what exactly happened once we create this kind of slicer? So we can see under the model view, actually we have this both related table, like in previous example, sales and product, and the other two table that change the profit. Both kind of table are disconnected. Okay, so the next example, it's according to something that is close to approximately match in VLOOKUP. So in this case, I'm looking for a new table, and this new table I will import from Microsoft Excel. So let's go and say get data from Microsoft Excel. And inside of Microsoft Excel, we have a basic table that we call coefficient table. So once we import this kind of coefficient table, there is only one table. So let's go and transform a little bit this table, because I want to be sure that we have a proper name, not only table. I will call this coefficient. And also I just want to see is this three kind of column are stored like number. So what is inside of this table? Actually, we want to create something like coefficient productivity, and this kind of coefficient productivity is stored in the last column from 1 to 6. And we have something like logical test where you can imagine. So we can see if the profit is between 0 and 5, then we can call we have a coefficient productivity number 1, and the other is absolutely the same. So let's go and quote this. To create this example, I need to import two more tables from our database, and the one is directly connected to our the first one is directly connected to our fact table, and the second one is related to this first one. So let's show you what I mean. So let's go to the recent source, navigate to our database, and then I need to create something between I need to import the reseller and geography, and I need to create some analysis according to the geography table. So let's go and just load this table. So inside of our data model, you will see that all these kind of tables that we import from our database are related. Let me show you. So under the data model, you can see this is first table for this kind of both table that we already imported, and inside of this we have two more tables that is called geography reseller. So in this case, you can see that we already have three disconnected tables and four tables that is inside of our model. The sales is our fact table. So I'm looking for some analysis according to the different countries. So this country is stored in the geography table. And that's why I need to import and a reseller also. So go back to the report view, and inside of report view, I'm looking for some kind of analysis that show us by geography, by country. And inside of country, I want to see what's the data that is present our, for example, total profit. Okay, and I need to change this to basic table. Don't need to see like I don't need to see like a profit or something. So inside of this sales table, so let's go to the tables, and here inside of table, we already create a column that we called this profit. But imagine that we need to create some coefficient inside of different orders, for example. And we need to look at row by row for this kind of profit. And I need to create a new column inside of our fact table that is related to this kind of profit. And to do that, I just want to go to home, create a new column, and inside of new column, just want to type a couple of stuff. So let's first call the name my coefficient. And this will be equal to our calculate function. So let's go and expand a little bit. There is a super big function that I was created in the past, maybe. So this one is better. So let's go and say, okay, calculate. What do I need to calculate? I need to calculate values that was stored in our coefficient table, and inside of the coefficient table there is a column that is called coefficient product. So actually at the end I need to see number from 0 to 6 that was present the coefficient productivity. So quote bracket here, and let's go to the next level. Okay, so here we said, okay, show me the values in this kind of from this kind of table, and I need to filter our data. So here, come on, it's a little bit complicated with this zoom in zoom out, and now I need to filter this table. I need to filter this my new table that we called coefficient. So I type coefficient and say, okay, filter this coefficient table and present me our total profit. Our total profit should be greater than or equal to my low profit from coefficient table. And in the same time, so let's go here, and in the same time I need to see my total profit to be less than the same coefficient table but from the high profit. So let's go and close bracket here in the profit, then let's go and close bracket in the values, and come on, and the values, and the last one we close bracket of the calculate. So let's go and see what exactly it's happened. This should be equal something like VLOOKUP, let's say again. So you can see this is the number is 6.331, and this is in the paragraph 2, for example. Let's see how it's look again, coefficient table. So it's between 0 and 5, and our profit is 6, so this is here in this second row. So this was everything from me and my disconnected table. I hope to enjoy in Excel weekend 9, and I hope to see you, a couple of you, this year on 24th of April. Welcome to Sofia. And thanks again, Cristiano. See you soon. Bye.